Hey there, upgraders. Roquinia here, and I'm about to reveal the invisible puppeteers controlling every aspect of your fitness journey. Right now, as you're listening to this, there are over 50 different hormones coursing through your bloodstream, each one influencing your muscle growth, fat storage, energy levels, and recovery capacity. And here's the kicker. Most people are operating with completely dysfunctional hormone profiles and have no idea. The average 30-year-old man today has the testosterone levels of a 50-year-old from the 1980s. Women are experiencing epidemic levels of cortisol dysfunction, and both sexes are battling insulin resistance at rates that would have been unthinkable a generation ago. But here's what the supplement industry doesn't want you to know. You don't need testosterone replacement therapy. You don't need expensive hormone panels every month. And you definitely don't need that $200 bottle of natural test booster that's basically overpriced zinc. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why your testosterone might be crashing despite perfect training, why women actually recover faster than men from certain workouts, and how to optimize your entire endocrine system without a single injection or prescription. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth about modern hormone levels. The harmonized reference range for testosterone in healthy men, age 19 to 39, is 264 to 916 nanograms per deciliter. That's a massive range, and here's why it matters. If you're at 265, you're technically normal, but functionally hypogonadal. You have the testosterone of someone 3 times your age. After age 30, testosterone declines approximately 1% per year. That's the natural aging process. What we're seeing now, though, is functional hypogonadism in young men, driven not by age, but by lifestyle. The primary culprit is insulin resistance. When your HOMA-IR index, a measure of insulin sensitivity, exceeds 2.86, your body enters a state where it preferentially stores fat rather than building muscle. That excess fat contains aromatase, an enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen. A man carrying just 30 pounds of excess body fat can convert up to 50% more of his testosterone into estrogen than a lean counterpart. Lower testosterone leads to more fat storage. More fat storage leads to more aromatization. It's a self-reinforcing hormonal death spiral. The good news is that this is reversible without medical intervention. Losing just 10% of body weight can increase testosterone by 100 to 200 nanograms per deciliter, an effect that rivals or exceeds many testosterone replacement protocols. Cortisol is often framed as the enemy of gains, but cortisol itself isn't the problem. Rhythm is. Cortisol should surge by 50 to 75% within 30 minutes of waking, a response that mobilizes glucose, sharpens cognition, and prepares you for the day. From there, it should steadily decline, reaching its lowest point around midnight to allow deep sleep, tissue repair, and growth hormone release. Chronic stress flattens this curve. Instead of a sharp morning peak and evening trough, cortisol remains moderately elevated throughout the day and never fully drops at night. This is HPA axis dysfunction, and it tends to progress in stages. First comes chronically high cortisol. You feel wired but tired, gain fat around the midsection, and see creeping increases in blood pressure. Then cortisol becomes erratic, high some days and low others. You crash in the afternoon but can't sleep at night. Eventually, cortisol becomes chronically low, often mislabeled as adrenal fatigue. Energy collapses, immune responses become exaggerated, and the ability to respond to stress when it actually matters disappears. The solution isn't supplements, it's restoring rhythm. Morning light exposure within 30 minutes of waking, consistent sleep and wake times, and avoiding intense exercise within 3 hours of bedtime. Late night training might feel productive, but hormonally it's destructive. This brings us to one of the most misunderstood topics in training physiology: women and hormones. Women don't build less muscle because of hormones. They build less muscle primarily because they start with less muscle mass. Their rate of muscle protein synthesis, however, is nearly identical to men. Estrogen confers several advantages. It acts as a powerful antioxidant and membrane stabilizer, reducing muscle damage from the same training stimulus. Women show lower creatine kinase levels post-workout, less delayed onset muscle soreness, and faster recovery back to baseline performance. At the same relative intensity, women can tolerate 20 to 30% more training volume than men and recover faster both between sets and between sessions. The idea that women need to train lighter or less frequently simply isn't supported by evidence. This advantage diminishes after menopause. As estrogen declines, anabolic resistance develops, and muscle becomes less responsive to both protein intake and training. Postmenopausal women need higher protein doses and more deliberate progressive overload to maintain muscle mass. This isn't about weakness, it's about context. Hormonal environment determines optimal training strategy. When it comes to optimizing testosterone naturally, forget the flashy products on supplement shelves. Vitamin D functions as a prohormone, and levels below 30 nanograms per milliliter are associated with lower testosterone. Supplementing 3,000 to 5,000 IU daily shows a moderate to large effect on total testosterone. Zinc directly influences luteinizing hormone, the signal that initiates testosterone production. Deficiency can reduce testosterone by as much as 75% within months, while restoring adequate intake often normalizes levels. Magnesium reduces sex hormone binding globulin, increasing free, usable testosterone. Around 450 milligrams daily can raise free testosterone by roughly 24% within weeks, but this effect is most pronounced in individuals who are training. Without mechanical stress, the hormonal payoff is minimal. Sleep remains non-negotiable. Every hour of sleep under 5 hours reduces testosterone by 10 to 15%. Timing matters as much as duration because testosterone is released in pulses during REM sleep, which predominates in the early morning hours. Consistently waking too early for training can quietly sabotage hormone production. Training itself can either amplify or suppress your hormonal environment. Compound movements involving large muscle groups produce the most robust endocrine response. Squats, deadlifts, presses, and rows outperform machine-based isolation work in both muscle activation and testosterone response. Intensity matters more than sheer volume for acute hormonal elevation. Loads in the 85 to 90% of 1 rep max range elicit significantly greater testosterone responses than lighter, high-repetition work. However, volume is still necessary to sustain that elevation. 3 to 4 sets of 3 to 5 reps strikes an effective balance. Rest periods matter. Around 60 to 90 seconds maintains metabolic stress and hormonal elevation. Excessively long rest intervals dissipate the cumulative endocrine effect. There is a threshold beyond which endurance work becomes counterproductive. Men running more than about 40 miles per week consistently show reduced baseline testosterone. This interference isn't just mechanical fatigue, it's hormonal. Strength and endurance training should be periodized, not maximized simultaneously. Underlying all of this is insulin, arguably the most important hormone nobody talks about. Insulin sensitivity, often measured via HOMA-IR, should fall roughly between 0.39 and 2.86. Above that range, insulin resistance begins to suppress testosterone, elevate cortisol, increase aromatase activity, and promote visceral fat accumulation. Its metabolic drag in its purest form, high-intensity interval training is one of the most powerful interventions for restoring insulin sensitivity. Low-volume HIIT, less than 15 minutes of intense work, can match the insulin-sensitizing effects of much longer moderate-intensity sessions. Even more efficient is R-HIIT, which uses 2 all-out 20-second sprints within a 10-minute session. Those brief maximal efforts trigger GLUT4 translocation, allowing muscles to uptake glucose independent of insulin. Combining resistance training with aerobic work yields the greatest improvements in insulin sensitivity. Muscle provides storage capacity, mitochondria improve fuel oxidation, and together they restore metabolic flexibility. Hormone testing has its place, but it's often overused. Testosterone should only be evaluated in the presence of persistent symptoms, such as reduced libido, erectile dysfunction, loss of body hair, or reduced testicular volume. Even then, testing must be done early in the morning on 2 separate days. Day-to-day variation alone can exceed 30%. Afternoon testing during illness, sleep deprivation, or immediately after intense training, all produce misleading results. For cortisol, random blood tests are essentially useless. Meaningful assessment requires either a 24-hour urine collection or a multi-point salivary profile to capture rhythm. Thyroid evaluation requires more than TSH alone. Free T3, free T4, and antibodies are necessary for interpretation. Context matters as well, since TSH naturally increases with age. Optimizing hormones starts with insulin sensitivity, particularly if excess body fat is present. Resistance training 3 times per week, HIIT twice per week, and a modest caloric deficit form the foundation. Circadian rhythm comes next: morning light, consistent sleep timing, and no late-night training. Address common nutrient deficiencies with vitamin D, zinc, and magnesium. Prioritize compound movements at meaningful intensities, and above all, respect recovery. Persistent soreness, frequent illness, and declining performance signal under-recovery, not under-training. Before considering hormone replacement, commit to 3 months of lifestyle optimization. Outside of primary endocrine disease, most hormonal dysfunction is secondary and reversible. Your hormones are not fixed traits. They respond continuously to your behavior, your training, your sleep, and your stress. They're not your destiny, they're your dashboard. Next week, we close the series with the psychology of transformation, why some people change permanently while others stall indefinitely, the mental frameworks that predict success, and the cognitive biases that quietly undermine progress. Until then, this is Roquinia reminding you to keep upgrading hormonally